outright 14 lead. If this is confusing to us, imagine this being screamed at an 11-year-old. Now put on top of this, the 11-year-old dealing with trauma. 21 years I've worked in the juvenile justice field, mental health, and coached youth sports. And it wasn't until I learned about childhood trauma that I connected the dots that the way a kid may perform on the field could be due to the trauma that he's experiencing at home. So what is trauma? Trauma is a deeply distressing and disturbing experience. Research has shown that children are vulnerable to trauma because of their rapidly developing brains, and during these events, a child's brain is in a heightened state of stress and fear-related hormones are activated. Although stress is a normal part of life, when a child is exposed to chronic trauma, staying in this heightened state can change the child's emotional behavior and cognitive functions. To maintain and promote survival, we call this survival brain. These traumatic experiences can impact the child's future. So we must understand what may be traumatic to one person is not traumatic to another person. Like you, normal adolescents breaking up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a pimple can be traumatic to them. I'm talking about deep trauma, a parent incarcerated, drug abuse, physical, sexual, emotional abuse, not enough food to eat. If we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we see that the basic needs have to be met before we move on to the next need. Food, water, safety, love and belonging, self-esteem, self-accusation. So you ask yourself, how can a coach make a difference in a player's life? Through permanent connections. So when I was coaching youth basketball, I had a youth on my team. He was 11 years old, and I would go pick him up. Lived with his great-grandmother. Never talked about his home life, but on the basketball court, he couldn't focus. You know, I say, God dang, he just can't get right. Couldn't remember a play or anything. By me taking him home, I said, well, can I meet your grandmother? Because I'm trying to say, if he's struggling on the basketball court, is he struggling at school, and what can I do? I went into the house. Great-grandmother was raising 8 kids. Mother, father was incarcerated. Wasn't enough food to eat. By listening to the youth, I was able to understand him. Sports was supposed to be an outlet for him. It was coaching. I was coaching for the team to win, and I wasn't coaching for him to win. So changing my overall coaching approach helped me see that I can impact the youth's life. So I changed the way that I coach. Are the youth safe with me? Am I providing snacks? Because they didn't have enough food in the house, so I would have snacks before they started practice. Granola bars. Letting them know that I wanted them on my team. That belonging and loving need. Not putting them down, building them up, building up their self-esteem and their character. And one thing, I was listening. He was able to talk to me about what's going on in his life. These things changed his attention off the court, which impacted the way that he was performing on the court. We cannot take away a youth's life experiences. We have no control over their history, anniversaries, birthdays, their parents passing away, parents being incarcerated. What we do have control over, though, is how we engage with them and how we interact with them. I have to connect before I correct. Am I teaching the skills that they need to be successful in life? Critical thinking, conflict resolution, problem solving. Some say the biggest form of flattery is imitation. When we are invested in a young person, they will mimic and start acting and behaving the way we behave. Always staying on the positive side and displaying good behaviors is a way that we can teach them, how we get along with each other, how we go through conflict. In sports and in life, there are up and downs. The momentum shifts, like when OSU gets beat or OU gets beat. But these skills we teach will help build resilience. It'll help us bounce back like a rubber band in a tough game and in life's pitfalls. One study published May of 2019 by JAMA Pediatrics said people who have experienced traumatic events as children have better mental health outcomes as adults if they have participated in sports growing up. As a youth coach, you are making a difference. We are building resilience by understanding youth sports can help youth that have experienced trauma. You can change your approach in their outcome and help build them up. Now I hear the question, but I'm not a coach. But you are a coach. You are an influencer. You are impacting youth, even when you don't know it. They are watching you and you are their teacher. If we leave here with one thing today, that you can affect someone's life, and that's my challenge to you, to make a difference in someone's life. Thank you.
Good job,
All right.
Terrell.